Very good evening. You're watching 7 at 7. I'm Nabila Jamal. We're going to take you through all the action that's happened on the Speaker's post. Unprecedented face-off leading up to an election for the Speaker that's scheduled tomorrow. But we're going to take you through some inside scoop. The headlines first. War for Lok Sabha Speaker post hits top gear. Om Birla is the NDA candidate. India Alliance nominates Congress MP K. Suresh. Election to be held tomorrow 11 a.m. India bloc split widens over Lok Sabha Speaker seat. Trinamool Congress says K. Suresh's nomination is a unilateral decision by the Congress party. They weren't consulted. Sharad Pawar also says he wasn't consulted on the matter. No end to emergency versus constitution fight. Prime Minister Modi evokes emergency to say Congress subverted the constitution. Opposition retorts with undeclared emergency under Modi taunt. Amid raging emergency versus constitution face-off, Rahul Gandhi, Akhilesh Yadav take oath as MPs today with the constitution in their hands. Rahul Gandhi roars, Jai Hind, Jai Samvidhan. Big setback for Arvind Kejriwal's stay to continue on Kejriwal's bail order. Delhi Chief Minister Kejriwal to now remain in Tihar jail until the Supreme Court's verdict. Supreme Court to hear the matter tomorrow. Pooch tragedy death toll rises to nearly 30. Hundreds hospitalized, families shattered. Heat now mounting on the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin and his government. AIADMK wearing black out in the streets protesting. They've also met with the governor today. The Pune Porsche car crash case. Relief for the minor. Bombay High Court calls his juvenile home detention as illegal, that he can't be kept in a juvenile home for this long. Minor who mowed down two with his speeding car walks out today. All right, big news coming in on the Speaker's post, the face-off. We see that the NDA now has built its numbers. In the last few hours, there's some support coming in the way of the NDA. Jagan Mohan Reddy's YSRCP, which is not part of the NDA alliance formally, has decided to pledge its support to the NDA candidate Om Birla for the Speaker's post. YSRCP, remember, has 4 Lok Sabha MPs and all 4 said to be supporting the NDA candidate Om Birla. According to sources, apart from the 293 MPs of the NDA, 4 MPs of YSRCP and 7 MPs independent of many other small parties will be voting in favor of the NDA candidate Om Birla, which means now the NDA from 293 will have support of 304, a good sizable number in support of the NDA candidate. In fact, BJP sources claim that before the election of the Lok Sabha Speaker tomorrow, some more MPs are likely to support the NDA, and this figure could only go up to 307. Himanshu Mishra joining us, our correspondent, tracking this development, giving us this exclusive scoop. Himanshu, please break it down for us. What does this mean with the YSRCP coming out in support for the NDA candidate Om Birla? They didn't need to. The NDA has the numbers already. But still, to embolden them, you have the YSRCP, you also have 7 other MPs of independent candidates and of other smaller parties who are pledging their support for Om Birla. How far is this information legit? Do take us through the news here. Himanshu, I suppose you're on mute, if you can unmute yourself.
नबीला, जो एनडीए के उम्मीदवार हैं स्पीकर पद के, ओम बिरला, उनके सपोर्ट में वाईएसआरसीपी के 4 सांसद तो सपोर्ट कर ही रहे हैं. उनके अलावा जो है छोटी छोटी पार्टियों के और इंडिपेंडेंट सांसद जो है 7, वो भी सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. और अभी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के जो रणनीतिकार हैं, जो स्ट्रेटेजिस्ट हैं, उनका ये कहना है कि 303 नंबर जो हैं वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास अभी हैं ओम बिरला के समर्थन के लिए, लेकिन ये नंबर कल सुबह तक जो है वो 307 यानी 307 तक जा सकता है। और इसको लेकर बीजेपी की स्ट्रेटेजी एनडीए के लीडर्स के साथ चल रही है। और कल मॉर्निंग में ब्रेकफास्ट है अलग अलग एनडीए के लीडर्स के घर पे, जहां पर उनकी स्ट्रेटेजी तय होगी और साथ ही साथ अदर पार्टीज के कुछ और मेंबर्स को जो है वो वोट के लिए एनडीए लेके आ सकता है ऑन फोल्ड। और सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि एनडीए ये जरूर चाहता है कि जो नंबर्स हो, जो मार्जिन हो वो बहुत ज्यादा। और उसमें सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि जिन 7 एमपीज ने अभी तक शपथ नहीं लिए हैं उनमें 3 टीएमसी के सांसद हैं। एक जो है दीपक अधिकारी है, शत्रुघ्न सिन्हा है और नारुल हसन, ये नारुल इस्लाम, वो 3 टीएमसी के शशि थरूर ने शपथ नहीं ली है और समाजवादी पार्टी के अफजाल अंसारी ने, और उनके साथ साथ रशीद इंजीनियर जो इंडिपेंडेंट है जम्मू कश्मीर से, और उनके साथ अमृतपाल जो जेल में है। राशिद इंजीनियर और अमृतपाल दोनों ही जेल में हैं। इन 7 एमपीज ने अभी तक शपथ नहीं लिया और ये सातों जो है अपोजिशन में माने जाते हैं। तो ऐसे में अपोजिशन का जो नंबर है वो और कम हो सकता है। और ये एक बड़ी तरीके से स्ट्रेटेजाइज जो है एनडीए और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लीडर्स कर रहे हैं कि जो अगर स्पीकर पर वोटिंग होती है तो वो जो वोटिंग का डिफरेंस है वो और ज्यादा बढ़ता नजर आए। और इसलिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी की तरफ से कहा जा रहा है कि 303 नंबर अभी उनके पास है, 307 तक जो है वोटिंग के टाइम तक उनके समर्थन में होंगे ओम बिरला के।
वैसे भी उनके पास नंबर्स है अब तो, विद द सपोर्ट ऑफ 7 इंडिपेंडेंट्स एंड दोज फ्रॉम स्मॉलर पार्टीज अलोंग विद 4 ऑफ द YSRCP, द एनडीए हैज 3 or 4 in support of them, and they're confident that the numbers could only increase after their breakfast meeting tomorrow. So that's the big update. Thanks very much, Himanshu, for joining us on that. All right, we saw a huge war of words that exploded right at the start of the day, on the second day of the special parliament session. The Congress and the BJP locking horns over 50 years of the emergency period, which the Prime Minister took a jibe at, verbal volleys, as Prime Minister Modi's remark on emergency resulted in chaos, sloganeering against the current dispensation. We saw the opposition there slamming the Modi government, saying that under Modi era, it's the real undeclared emergency. Let's have a look at what transpired.
संविधान की रक्षा हम करेंगे।
Emergency versus safe constitution showdown is escalating. On the 50th anniversary of the emergency, Prime Minister Modi launched a scathing attack at the Congress. Recalling the dark days of emergency, Prime Minister said that today is a reminder of how the Congress party subverted basic freedoms and trampled over the Constitution. Taking a jibe with the Congress, the Prime Minister said that the mindset of imposition of emergency was still alive in the party and that people of India can see through Congress's tokenism.
डेमोक्रेसी कोई वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड की देन नहीं है, मदर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी रही है तो वो भारत रही है। ऐसे प्रजातंत्र को का गला घोटने का काम कांग्रेस पार्टी ने किया, वो भी हमको ध्यान में रखना चाहिए। लेकिन हम सबको यह भी मालूम है कि देश उसके खिलाफ खड़ा हुआ और हम लोगों ने डट करके उसका विरोध किया।
कांग्रेस में चेहरे बदले होंगे, लेकिन उसका चरित्र, उसके हाव भाव आज भी वही हैं जो 1975 में एक बर्बर चेहरा उस समय में कांग्रेस पार्टी का देखने को मिला था।
100 बार यही बात बोलेंगे और इमरजेंसी के 50 साल हो रहे।
The Congress countered the Prime Minister's attack with undeclared emergency jibe. Congress President Kharge accused the BJP and the Modi government of toppling institutions and misusing central agencies.
हाल ही में नीट की एग्जाम की जो बात है, उसमें बच्चों का भविष्य बर्बाद करने का काम आपने किया है। क्यों जीएसटी जैसा कायदा लाकर आम आदमी को लूटा गया और मुट्ठी भर लोगों को आपने फायदा दिलाया, इसका भी आत्मपरीक्षण हो। ये तो इमरजेंसी से भी भारी था।
The opposition also raised undeclared emergency slogans in the parliament. The 21-month emergency imposed by Indira Gandhi in 1975 saw civil liberties suspended opposition leaders and dissidents jailed, and censorship of press. Almost half a century later, it continues to be a flashpoint in Indian politics. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, a series of MPs who took oaths today. I'm going to take you through all the highlights. Amid the emergency versus constitution debate that raged on in the parliament, we saw Congress MP Rahul Gandhi, who took oath as a Rai Bareli MP today with the constitution in his hand. Rahul Gandhi roars, Jai Hind, Jai Samvidhan. Mahua Moitra of the Trinamool Congress took oath as Krishnanagar MP today. She was expelled, remember, from the 17th Lok Sabha after the House adopted the report of its ethics committee that found her guilty for cash for query case. She now comes back with a victory, takes oath as an MP.
আমি মহুয়া মৈত্র লোকসভার সদস্য নির্বাচিত হইয়া ঈশ্বরের নামে শপথ করিতেছি যে আমি বিধিদ্বারা প্রতিষ্ঠিত ভারতের সংবিধানের প্রতি প্রকৃত বিশ্বাস ও আনুগত্য পোষণ করিব। আমি ভারতের সার্বভৌমত্ব ও সংহতি রক্ষা করিয়া চলিব এবং যে কর্তব্যভার আমি গ্রহণ করিতে চলিয়াছি তাহা আমি বিশ্বস্তভাবে নির্বাহ করিব। জয়।
There you have it. Akhilesh Yadav, Samajwadi Party, taking oath as Kannauj MP. Like Rahul Gandhi, Akhilesh too took oath waving the constitution in his hands, followed by a handshake with his other half, UP ke ladke duo Rahul Gandhi.
मैं अखिलेश यादव जो लोकसभा का सदस्य निर्वाचित हुआ हूं, ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा।
Dimple Yadav taking oath as a Samajwadi Party MP today. She won the by-election held in Mainpuri parliamentary constituency, which was necessitated after the seat felt vacant owing to the passing away of her father-in-law Mulayam Singh Yadav, the SP patriarch.
जो लोकसभा की सदस्य निर्वाचित हुई हूं, ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और अनुष्ठा रखूंगी और
Bollywood star Neta Hema Malini also taking oath as a BJP's member of parliament today. The Neta is representing Mathura constituency since 2014.
संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगी। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगी तथा जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने वाली हूं, उसके कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वहन करूंगी। जय श्री कृष्णा, जय श्री राधा रमन जी, जय।
All right, shifting our focus to Tamil Nadu's Hooch tragedy that's killed 60 people, hundreds of them currently taking treatment at hospitals. All eyes now on MK Stalin government as the opposition out on the streets condemning the failure of the state government. AIDMK and the BJP cornering the DMK government. They're demanding a CBI probe, met with the governor today. We're going to take you through all the details in the case. Have a look.
Nearly 60 deaths, hundreds hospitalized. The worst huge tragedy in Tamil Nadu's history. Kallakurichi is still reeling from the aftermath of this large-scale tragedy as scores remain in a critical condition a week on. With the chorus for a CBI investigation, political pressure is growing on the Stalin government. AIADMK leaders who have been wearing black as a mark of protest from the day of the tragedy met with Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi.
அந்த கள்ளச்சாராயம் குடித்து இறந்தவருடைய அந்த விசாரணை சிபிசிஐடியிடம் ஒப்படைக்கப்பட்டது. இந்த விசாரணை நியாயமாக நேர்மையாக நடைபெற வேண்டும் என்றால் இதை சிபிஐ வசம் ஒப்படைக்க வேண்டும். திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தினுடைய தலைவர் இன்றைய முதலமைச்சர் திரு ஸ்டாலின் அவர்கள்தான் பொறுப்பேற்று தார்மீக நிதியாக ராஜினாமா செய்ய வேண்டும்.
Our CM should take responsibility and the concerned minister should resign immediately. Then only the people will come to know, okay, this is the acceptable government. Otherwise, they are cheating the people with all wrong hopes and everything. So I extremely condemn this.
The governor too has been critical of the Stalin government, saying them of being in denial over the illegal liquor crisis in the state.
We have incidents like last year we had Chengalpet and Vilupuram, more than 20 people died. More than lakhs of liters of illicit arak was seized. But things went back, it seems. Now this is not acceptable. Either there is a connivance, because denial cannot be without a purpose.
As the Tamil Nadu Assembly has seen non-stop commotion over the Kallakurichi deaths, Chief Minister Stalin today lashed out at the AIADMK and ruled out transferring the case to the CBI.
கள்ளக்குறிச்சி சம்பவத்துக்கான உண்மையான காரணத்தை அறிய நீதியரசர் கோகுல்தாஸ் ஆணையம் அமைக்கப்பட்டுள்ளது. சிபிசிஐடி வசம் இந்த வழக்கு ஒப்படைக்கப்பட்டுள்ளது. உள்துறை செயலாளரையும் டிஜிபியையும் உடனடியாக அங்கே சென்று அறிக்கையை தர சொல்லியிருக்கிறேன். குற்றவாளிகளில் 20க்கும் மேற்பட்டோர் கைது செய்யப்பட்டிருக்கிறார்கள். இன்னும் சிலர் தேடப்பட்டு வருகிறார்கள். மதுவிலக்கை கவனித்து வந்த ஏடிஜிபி கட்டாய காத்திருப்பில் வைக்கப்பட்டுள்ளார். இப்படிப்பட்ட நடவடிக்கைகள் 24 மணி நேரத்தில் இந்த அரசு எடுத்திருக்கிறது என்பது உங்களுக்கெல்லாம் நன்றாக தெரியும்.
As the politics continues, the harsh reality is that this tragedy could claim more lives, as scores of victims continue to battle for their lives in Kallakurichi. Bureau Report, India Today.
Cutting to Karnataka, there seems to be more trouble for Prajwal Revanna's brother Suraj Revanna. Another case has now been filed against him on charges of sexual assault. Complaint has been filed under Section 377 of unnatural sex. Shockingly, the man who's filed the complaint against Suraj is Shivakumar. Shivakumar is a close aide of Suraj Revanna, the same Shivakumar who initially helped Suraj Revanna file an extortion case of 5 crores against Chetan and his brother-in-law. This is the same Chetan who's also filed an FIR against Suraj Revanna, accusing him of forcing him into homosexual acts at his farmhouse. Of course, Suraj Revanna has now been sent to 7 days police custody, but this is unfortunate as we see, even before the first case is thoroughly investigated, another complaint of unnatural sex has been filed against Suraj Revanna. We also know that Prajwal Revanna himself is now facing a 4th case in this. In fact, Prajwal Revanna is also currently sent to judicial custody until the 7th of July. He faces allegations of sexual harassment, stalking, criminal intimidation by another victim. This is the 4th case against Prajwal Revanna as well, where the victim claims that a video was recorded by Prajwal and he shared it willingly with multiple people. There are a few more names involved in that complaint. I'm going to cut across Anagha Kesha for more on that. Anagha, both the brothers have fresh cases filed against them. Suraj Revanna and Prajwal Revanna have fresh cases of sexual assault filed against them. Trouble only mounting for the family.
Well, that's right, Nabila. You know, adding to just what you said, both of them have fresh cases filed against them on the same day. Prajwal Revanna was in CID headquarters, whereas his elder brother Suraj Revanna was in Hassan. And the irony in this whole case, Nabila, is the fact that the one who has freshly filed a case against Suraj is actually the one who tried to shield him by filing a complaint on his behalf with the police, stating that, you know, the first sexual assault victim Chetan tried to extort money from us. So, in fact, he is the one who tried to protect his friend Suraj, but now after he's sent to police custody and now he knows that things are not so good for his friend, he decides to come out and file a complaint with Hassan police station, stating that Suraj has also performed unnatural sex forcefully, and that's why Section 377 was filed on him as well. Remember, Shivakumar is also a very close aide of Suraj Revanna. He tried protecting him when the first case was filed against him. So this fresh case, Nabila, is only going to solidify and mount more troubles against Suraj Revanna. So the next step will be Suraj will be taken to Hassan to conduct a spot mahazar in that exact Garnikada farmhouse where he has allegedly forcefully raped so many men. We don't know how many more men are yet to come out and file complaints, but for now we have 2 of them. One is Chetan and the other one is Shivakumar, and both of them are said to have been close to Suraj in the past.
Very unfortunate for Deve Gowda's family, as both Deve Gowda's grandsons are currently in prison, both on charges of sexual assault, while Suraj Revanna faces charges of unnatural sex, forcefully forcefully pushing the victims into having homosexual acts with him, while Prajwal Revanna is accused by many women of rape. Thanks very much, Anaga, for joining us. Now, in a major setback for Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi High Court today extended the stay on his bail order that was given by the trial court. No relief for Arvind Kejriwal for the moment. He remains in Tihar jail. While pronouncing the order, the Delhi High Court has said that the trial court observation was incorrect, that they didn't go into the merit of the case and the arguments placed by the Enforcement Directorate. High Court has also said it needs to consider ED's plea and it wasn't given enough presence in this case. The Delhi court observed that the trial court did not consider conditions of Section 45 of the PMLA, noting that interim bail of Kejriwal was granted only during the election season, so he could campaign, and that it can't be said that Kejriwal's personal liberty has been curtailed.
The High Court has appreciated our arguments and has stayed the order of bail in favor of Mr. Kejriwal. There are several observations made, one regarding Section 45 having not been considered properly, and other is that the papers which were submitted have not been perused by the court.
इसमें कोई दो राहें नहीं है कि ट्रायल कोर्ट का ऑर्डर बहुत क्लैरिटी से ये फाइंडिंग देता है कि देयर इज नो एविडेंस व्हिच लिंक्स अरविंद केजरीवाल जी इन दिस मैटर, क्योंकि ऐसा कोई घोटाला है ही नहीं। आज तक ईडी को चवन्नी की रिकवरी नहीं हुई है। जैसा मैंने कहा कि हाई कोर्ट ने तो ट्रायल कोर्ट के ऑर्डर को देखे बिना ही स्टे लगा दिया था, तो शायद उनको भी अपनी बात पे रहना पड़ा, बट हम निश्चित तौर से इससे असहमत हैं। वी विल टेक इट फॉरवर्ड।